The passing game for the Carolina Panthers sucks. Best way to put it at this point in the season, Bryce Young has not thrown a 200-plus yard game this season besides a Cardinals game. And there's been a lot of debate last couple of days after Sunday's performance against the Saints on who's the issue with the passing game. Okay, and I'm here to give you guys straight, unbiased thoughts and facts with film today's video. Before we head into the film, though, whose problem is this on? It's on everybody. Bryce Young is probably the main factor in why the passing game is not taking a step yet. He's missing easy throws, and he's missing opportunities for deep shots. Touch on the first point is that when people are out here, Panther fans are out here saying Dave Canales is not calling deep shots. It's false. Do not listen to those people because it's facts on film that Dave Canales this week against the Saints called multiple deep shots, and Bryce Young has missed many deep shots in this game. But the other argument towards Bryce Young could be, is Dave Canales telling Bryce, play a quick game? Okay, it seems like he's just looking at T-Mac the most. He's staring down Tenero McMillan, which is not a bad thing, okay, because T-Mac has been our best receiver, but at the same time, you can't be staring down one receiver and expect results every single week. Secondly, if he's not staring out T-Mac, he's going to the first, quickest, and closest receiver that he can go to if it's in the flat. And it's just like there's guys open every single week, and he's not connecting. Okay, and we're going to see that with the film today for you guys. This passing game is on everybody. The passing game sucks right now for the Carolina Panthers because everyone is not tapping in. No one's doing their part consistently. Dave Canales, at the end of the day, is not calling consistently great schemes as well. But it's kind of hard when your quarterback is missing deep shots consistently, okay, as you're going to see with the film today. So if you guys are new, subscribe for me. I know I've talked for a while. We're going to head into film right now. Subscribe. We're on the road to 2K. Would appreciate y'all for doing that for me. Let's get right into the film. All right, the first play that I will break down for you guys is going to be a simple concept. This is in the first quarter, okay? Jimmy Horn has a touchdown right here. I'm being so for real, a good quarterback. If Bryce Young sees Jimmy Horn right here, if he puts them on him, this is a touchdown. And by the way, Jimmy Horn, I know you had that fumble, but it's kind of hard to know that your young receivers are doing good when Bryce Young is not consistently looking at all the receivers and he's just staring down one receiver, or he's taking quick throws and he's not throwing the ball downfield. Jimmy Horn's going to run a post right here on the outside, okay? Just kind of go over here for you guys. He's running a post on the outside. You're going to have T-Mac running a quick out right here. Jalen Coker's going to beat his man, do a little drag route, get open, and when I run this clip, Jimmy Horn's going to get wide open. His speed is just going to help him separate. But again, as soon as you snap the ball, Bryce Young stares down Tenero McMillan. It's not a bad thing, okay? This is a completion. Okay, so we can't really complain. It was a completion for 10 yards. But my point is there's not consistency of Bryce Young being patient anymore. I don't know why. Is it Dave Canales telling him just play quick game? I don't know what it is. But every single time we throw the ball, it seems like he's throwing the ball 10 or less yards down the field, and there's no urgency to throw the ball downfield. And this play is going to show you guys on the first drive, by the way. All right, here's that first clip. You're going to watch Jimmy Horn. Watch. Bryce Young steps back and look at him just staring at T-Mac the entire way. All right, I'm running back for you guys. Watch his eyes as soon as I have the ball snap. Look at that. To the left, right to T-Mac the entire time. Jimmy Horn, boom, look at that route. Gets his corner turned. If Bryce Young waits a little bit longer, there's no pressure at all on his face. If he steps him in the pocket and delivers this post right here, look at that, wide open for Jimmy Horn right there, and delivers that ball, that's a touchdown. If I'm being serious, it's going to be hard to complain on that because the ball was completed and it was a first down. But at the same time, there's shots to take. When people are sitting here on Twitter, people in the Panthers community are sitting here talking about there's no deep shots available for Bryce Young to take because Dave Canales isn't calling them. This on the first drive, and it's right there, okay, for people thinking Jimmy Horn had a bad game. He actually had a good game as a receiver in this game. There were a lot of plays that he got open. I think that there's another one, too, on another post that he had on the outside on another clip I'm going to show you guys here in a second that he got open as well. There's plays and there's opportunities for Bryce to make, but he did not make them on Sunday. Simple as that. All right, here's the next play I do want to break down for you guys. Jalen Coker gets wide open in middle field, but Bryce Young just doesn't have urgency to throw the ball on the field for whatever reason. I don't know why. He takes a check down to Rico Dowdle. He gets open pretty late, which could be the reason, and he sees Rico Dowdle to his right at the end of this play. No one gets open besides Jalen Coker in the middle of the field. He does a little in route right here. Obviously, Rico Dowdle comes out here, and it's that little check down that he has. But when you see the All-22, Jalen Coker gets open. He's waving his arm to get the ball here on this play, and he never gets it. Here's that clip for you guys. You're going to see, watch. Look at that. Jalen Coker right here. Pause. No pressure in his face. Okay, looking downfield, obviously, look at all those deep shots. 15-plus yards down the field, every single one of them. You see right here, Jalen Coker about to split this zone. No pressure. If you're Bryce Young, step up and make this throw. Look at that. Pause right here. There's no pressure. He's wide open right here. If you're Bryce Young, you need to step up into this throw and you need to step up into that pocket and make this throw and deliver that throw as a quarterback. but he doesn't do it. Takes the check down right here to Rico Dowdle, looks to his right, boom. All right, here's another great play. Okay, this is Jimmy Horn, another outside post where he wins and gets open. Outside post, Jalen Coker in the middle of the field. He needs to be more patient. And this is the thing that I think is the biggest thing that's eye-opening for me in the film so far. If you guys agree with me, let me know in the comments. It's just the impatience that Bryce Young had in this game in terms of throwing the ball down the field. He's just taking checkdowns with ease. I don't know if it's, like a confidence that he has with throwing the ball downfield at the moment. I don't know what it is, but he is lacking confidence and he's not urgent in taking shots down the field, 10 plus yards. There were too many passes on Sunday where it was 5 or less yards on the field. Just way too many. Okay, in cover 3, just for a random fact, he is currently averaging 5 yards per attempt in cover 3 this season against cover 3. Okay, so there's an issue when it comes to coverage, and there's an issue with just throwing the ball downfield in general if you want to take that as the biggest thing with that advanced stat for you guys. But this play right here is going to show you guys what I'm talking about. Okay, it's just the impatience. All right, let me run it for you guys here. You can see the motion right there from Jatavion. Look at that. Boom. Jimmy Horn, look at that. Beats that. Obviously, it's his own coverage. This is a cover 3 zone. Look at Jalen Coker. Boom. If Bryce Young there's no pressure in his face. He just takes the check down for whatever reason. I have no idea why. Takes a check down to the outside for no reason at all. He can step up and look at that. Make that throw to Jalen Coker right here and watch Jimmy Horn. Boom. Post right there. If you layer that ball right here, first down. There's opportunities for Bryce Young to make plays in this game, and he just didn't do it. If you guys can see what I'm talking about when it comes to the film, it's right there in front of you guys for people that are either on Bryce's side or not. Doesn't matter. This is for everybody, okay? We have to start being unbiased as Panther fans because a lot of us are, if we're going to be honest. A lot of us are so biased to the point where we can't see something and just say, okay, that's true. At the end of the day, there were calls in this game that were 10, 15 yards down the field that he could have made opportunities, was either impatient, not urgent enough. At the end of the day, I don't think Dave Canales is telling Bryce Young, we need a quick game. If there's a deep shot downfield, I don't care. Take the check down. He's not, then he wouldn't be calling plays down the field then. It's Bryce Young, I think, who's just not being urgent and not wanting to throw the ball downfield for whatever reason. I have no idea why, because last year at the end of the season, he was elite at this. So I don't know what's going on with Bryce Young right now, but clearly there's something wrong and there's a problem right now with this passing game with number 9. Our next play I do want to break down. This is the bad throw to T-Mac. He does a little stop and stutter. Bad throw from Bryce, by the way. Again, at the end of the day, T-Mac got open, and there's a lot of talk about T-Mac as well, which I don't understand why. T-Mac's on the question. He's the least problem with the offense right now, and people are talking about him. Okay. He separates and he can catch passes. He's only had a couple drop passes this year. He's second in rookie receiving behind Emeka Egbuka, who's in a much better situation in terms of being able to pass the ball consistently every single week. And Panther fans are bashing T-Mac as him being a problem just to mask the real issues with this team. Okay. This is another impatient play from Bryce. Okay. I don't blame him with the read because T-Mac gets open on this play. But XL gets open on this little post right here. Is he really open? I won't say that, okay? And obviously, they just do little in routes right here to get open. Nothing crazy from Jalen Coker and whoever's on top of the screen right there. I can't see. But they do little in routes, and XL has a post right here. Okay, you're going to see as the play develops. Bryce, if he just puts his ball in between the zone, which he can do. He's talented at doing that. Another completed pass downfield. Okay, there are opportunities in this game, which I'm going to show you right here. All right, look at that. Boom. T-Mac gets off his route. Look at that. Get separation right here. It was a good anticipation throw from Bryce. It was just a bad throw, if that makes sense. And then he extends his arms. That's a bad throw. If we're going to blame T-Mac on that, you're just tripping. All right, let me go back for you. But watch. Again, Bryce Young, really no pressure. You can step up into this throw. Right here, even look at that. Layer that right here in the middle of the field. This is completed. The safeties has too much depth right here. If Bryce Young throws the ball at the same time he threw the ball to T-Mac, I mean, DeMar Davis has the in route right here to Jalen Coker. If you put this ball right here, it's completed. So now we're halfway through the film. Are you guys understanding why a lot of us who actually look at film and stuff are frustrated with this stuff? Because people can blame Dave Canales. Cool. All right, I showed you the film. There's plenty of deep passes being called that Bryce is missing, especially last week, okay, against the Saints. We need to stop being biased and understand what's really what, okay? And it's not like Bryce can't do it because Bryce Young has been super talented, and he did it at the end of last season enough to show us that he can be that talented and that good as of a quarterback, but he's just not stringing it together this season for whatever reason. I don't know what it is. There's something deeper than what we know, but when you watch film, this is what we're getting. This play right here is terrible. All right, from Dave Canales, if we want to bash him on anything, this is a terrible play call. You're going to have Jalen Coker would be his first read, obviously, which is what I've been bashing Bryce about this game so far. Is his first read is just always the quickest, or it's always T-Mac. Okay, he never waits and is patient. This play right here is terrible. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I really know I'm not gonna blame Bryce for this. It's completed, but Coker's gonna run it out. Excel's also gonna run it out. T-Mac is gonna run a little outside post, and then I think this is Tommy Tremble. He runs also an in. This is a terrible design. Like, there's no separation right here, and there's no creativity with this play design from Dave Canales. So Bryce Young just got to the closest in his Jalen Coker, okay? But this is kind of just a different type of play where it's not really Bryce's fault. It's completed on the outside to Jalen Coker. I just want him to be more patient. Even on a play like this, just be more patient. Use his legs more. We know we can use his legs. All right, let's run. Look at that. Boom. Pause right here. Look at that. Two outside. Look at that. I mean, you have nothing. I mean, obviously you could have went Tommy Tremble. Again, if you're more patient right here, there's probably more yards if you give this right here to Tommy Tremble. All that field right here in the grass. But I'm not going to blame him really for this play, to be honest with you. Before we do move on into more film, we have a couple more clips left. I do want to touch on Bryce and his legs, okay? Because at the end of the day, Bryce Young needs to use his legs, okay? He is simply way better as a quarterback when he uses his legs to his advantage. Okay, there's a lot of times where this season he has a lane to run and he doesn't do it. He just throws in the dirt a lot of the times and he just doesn't run the ball. Why? I don't know. I don't know why half of the things why Bryce has done this season so far. It is what it is. I mean, we're at the point now where I'm used to it. We're all kind of used to it. We're all learning, if Bryce Young's really the guy or not at this point. I want him to be, because at the end, I'm not trying to go through another quarterback, and I love Bryce Young, but stuff like this, it just frustrates me a little bit because it's continuously happening this season. Next play for you guys. This also is not a bad decision, okay? Because we got the first down, a Jalen Coker out route on this specific rep from Bryce Young, and there's pressure. You can see they stacked the box right here, and I did see XL get open in the middle of the field. Bryce could have probably stepped up and made a throw right here and a dot in the middle of the field, but it's a good decision. We got a first down on this play on a third down. It wasn't a bad decision from Bryce on a play right here. Jalen Coker in motion. Look at that. But the problem is he reads his first read, and it's just an issue. Okay, look at that. The lane right here. He probably could have stepped up and made this throw to the middle of the field to XL. He probably could have. If he stepped up, got right here into his lane, made a good throw right here into XL, who got open in the middle of the field. It's tough. Again, it's hard. All right, but that play was open for sure for Bryce on this specific play. All right, this next play right here is just elite football from all sides, okay? T-Mac has gotten hate on Twitter this week for whatever reason. Again, I'm going to state it. It's so stupid why Tedero McMillan is getting hate from the fan base. This right here is an elite play from an elite player, okay, because Bryce Young evades the pocket and makes a play with his arm, and T-Mac creates insane separation in the middle of the field, 26 yards down the field, around that. On a play that looked dead, your all-pro receiver, level receiver, gets open as a rookie, okay? For all the hate that he's getting, this play is what his caliber level player does. Watch this. Play action, get the pressure from Alontae Taylor there. Bryce steps up in the pocket. This is what he needs to be doing more, by the way. Look at that. Separation on the in route from T-Mac right away. Let me run it back for you guys. Look at that. Boom. Gets the corner turn. Look at all that separation right there. Look at all that separation. Gives your quarterback a nice and easy window to throw. Nice and easy 25, 30-yard gain from the offense on this play. And this is what we need to see more of from this offense. We do. Okay? We do. And I don't know how it's going to happen, okay? Because the play calling needs to get better, but Bryce Young needs to play better. Okay, the play calling is just very non-creative. I feel like when it is creative and there's play action involved, which obviously Bryce Young we know is best in play action sets, and we haven't used that a lot lately. It's been a lot of shotgun. We need to get back into play action. Get more crossing routes. Really one-on-one matchups. Okay, it's kind of hard to do play action whenever you're playing a lot of cover 3, obviously lately, and teams know that, so they're gonna use that coverage when your quarterback's averaging 5 yards per attempt in that coverage. Right, you really want to play action out on man coverage because that's really a good beater for that. But I need Bryce Young and Dave Canales to lock in, bro, because if we want to make a run to the playoffs in this tough schedule that we got coming up, the Falcons, 49ers, Rams, Saints again, which should win that game, but we just lost it, so it's not a guarantee. And then you have the Bucs twice, and then the Seahawks. This schedule is ramping up. If you want to make the playoffs, you got to lock in as a passing game. You have to. Okay, defense is playing good enough. Running game is playing good enough when you're giving it a chance. Simple. All right, y'all, here's the next play for you guys. This is the XL touchdown attempt. This play is not on Bryce Young, okay? I'm going to be honest with y'all. This is XL just being XL, just not being a good receiver at the end of the day. Xavier Legette sucks, okay? I'm at the point now where he's just not a good player. We can give him all the excuses you want. Okay, Jalen Coker is genuinely good and getting open. When I watched film for this week, XL didn't really do a lot as well, right? Like there's just not a lot. He had no yards again this week. What more do you want? What more excuses do you want for a receiver that was a first round pick last year and doesn't even have 200 yards in the season? There's not a lot that you can give. Besides, maybe your quarterback is not targeting him a lot, but this is a target right here for 30 yards, and it's in his vicinity. This is in your catch radius. This is in your hands as a receiver. A good receiver catches this ball. I'm being so for real. This is a better ball than Bryce has given T-Mac on some of the drops that he has had this year. Okay, this is in your vicinity. People are going to say, no, it's not, right? But watch his play. Obviously, this is just in your vicinity. If you're XL and you need to make these type of catches, simple as that. Okay, Bryce snaps the ball. Look at that. You get good separation right here. Bryce leads this on. Watch where the ball is. Boom. Pause it right here. Look at that. Tell me that is not in the area. He tries to catch it with one hand. Doesn't even extend his arms. Nothing. Okay. Doesn't try to catch it. And you can say, well, T-Mac does the same thing. He tries to catch it with one hand as well. Okay. I won't disagree with that. But as a receiver, as a rookie this season, has 620 yards on the year. There's a difference. There's a difference between the two players right now. Let's not compare the two. Please. Let's not do it because there's a difference, a clear difference. Okay. No matter what excuses you want to make for XL, you can do it. I'm not doing it because I'm watching the same games as you are. And at the end of the day, he's not a good player. He's not a good player right now as a receiver. I don't care. Make the excuses you want. Our rookie receiver, yes, he's getting looked at constantly, the most out of every receiver. I will give you that. But he's also averaging 60 yards a game this season, plus as a rookie in a passing offense that averages under 200 yards a game this season. Averaging probably 150 yards per game this year with Bryce Young under center this year. So there's not a lot really positives when it takes from Xavier Legette this season. All right, that's the film I have for you guys today. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you like, subscribe. We're going to be doing a lot more of these every single week. Obviously, we do one a week. I'm going to have I wanted to drop my draft video this week. I don't know if I should because obviously everybody's frustrated with the loss. I get it. But I will be coming out with that, my first kind of top 5 prospects that we should be looking at in any range. It doesn't matter, just my top 5 players for the Carolina Panthers this season in the upcoming draft. Playoffs or not, doesn't matter. This draft is deep, especially on defense, and I'm excited to give you guys that. So if you guys are new, subscribe for me. We're on the road to 2,000 subs. All right, we're on the road to that. I'm pretty sure y'all for getting me to 1,000 as well. And we're on the grind. We're doing it for you guys. We go live after every single game. Stay tuned for that. If you guys want to, hop on lives, we'd love that with you guys as well. So with that being said, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed the film, and I'll see you guys next video.